Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Good to have you back on this Thursday. Another hot, not as bad as yesterday, a little bit cooler, so it was a bit more nicer when I took the boys for a walk this morning. Their daily exercise and my daily stress attack. There's a dad running around with a two and a half year old running around wanting to walk everywhere and touch everything and cars and roads and stuff. Yeah, all good fun. It's learning. I'm getting better. I'm getting more trusting, but I do stress a lot. I sat down and started doing some photos last night. I think it's down to 33 and started doing them, and I was falling asleep literally at the desk. Done. Called it a night early at about 10 o'clock and said, nah, stuff this. I'll come back and do it tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, it's no use pushing yourself too far. Yeah, I've got stuff to do in the daytime. I don't want to really kill myself. Editing photos and stuff. So I'll try and get some stuff done now while Jack's asleep. And then I'll do some more tonight. I'll have another big crack tonight. But yeah, no, it's looking good. So I'll just put a little bit, you can't rush these things. Yeah, you've got to sleep sometimes. And unfortunately, I'm sure if you've had a 2.5 or 2-year-old kid, you know that they're non-stop. So the chance of me doing anything while they're awake is pretty much not going to happen. So it leaves me till after dinner or night time once I've done family stuff, and then you're running low on juice, I guess, after a few nights like that. So I've done a few in a row and it had pretty much ended my run. So I've recharged, so a lot better today. So hopefully I should be good to catch up tonight. Yeah, it's just a matter of just fine tuning which ones I want and then getting them down to the right thing. And now I'm going into the smaller details. Like one photo, there was a beautiful seagull just perched up on this rock where I had to put the 1000 ND filter on and was trying to get just a nice silky smooth water with this beautiful eagle. Obviously 2-3 second exposures. Most of them, the eagle was moving or blurred out because he'd moved during that time. But I've got a good 5 or 6 where he is dead still, just looking down or just sitting there. So I lucked out in that regards. I guess that's why you take so many photos, just to try and make sure you get enough to get that good one. So I've definitely got enough there to do what I want to do. It's just fine tuning it. We'll get there. So it's coming. Rightio, let's get into this news for Thursday. It's I've got a little bit there. A little bit of COVID-based stuff, not COVID itself. They seem to be dropping off on reporting on actual stuff in China and bits and pieces, but we'll talk about some other stuff. Some camera stuff, some computer stuff, and some internet stuff as well. So bits and pieces all around, and some more stuff out of the EU, basically attacking Apple. So some interesting stuff. We'll kick it all off with some big stuff. Canon, we know about the R5. We've seen the photos of it. Peter McKinnon had the first one in his hands, that physical device, which we're all super excited about. Now, there's been, Canon Rumors is reporting that the R6 or another camera is turned up for certification. He believes it's going to be the R6. So we have the 5D, then 6D in the DSLR world. Basically the 5 and then the 6 is R5 and the R6 is going to be basically the mirrorless versions of those cameras. I think that's the way Canon's sort of looking at it. And by the way the R5's come out, I'm assuming that's pretty accurate. So the R6 looks like it's coming, but that's obviously now going to be, both of them now going to be delays, pushed possibly back to the second half. They don't know whether they've got only a third of their production facilities running at the moment with obviously the COVID issues. So they don't know if they're going to release with a minimal amount of cameras available in there by June or I think June or July. Their planned release, which we talked about earlier, or if they're just going to hold off until they can get more production, get that back on schedule a bit more once all this sort of flattens out a bit and they get this virus crap under control and people stop freaking out about a nasty flu. It obviously is nasty. It's not something to take lightly, but it's, yeah, I think it's probably been blown out a little bit too much. Hopefully I haven't pushed it that way. Fingers crossed. Just reporting on what I've heard, so I don't really want to push that it's a super bad thing. Half the crap is a little bit skeptical, like it's like only really getting the elderly and really sick people, so you've got to be sort of thing. But anyway, so the R6 to come this year as well, so that's really good. That's super exciting to see that, and the R5. At worst case scenario, maybe they'd push back the release to September, October or something like that, and doing a big event where they've got enough cameras so they can, once people start ordering them, they can just punch out those orders so people aren't disappointed. Otherwise, it's probably going to come to a case where they release it, do a big show in June, July, give it out to all their main people, I guess. What do you call it? Obviously, they're professionals. If there is Olympics, I'm assuming the people in the Olympics would have some reserve for those shooters. And then your Instagrammers, your YouTubers, those people. I'd say that's how they're going to do it. Now, also on that Canon side, there's also in the Canon rumours, there's a report of another item, which is the new flagship Speedlite, also in the process. So that's something we haven't heard about, but that was in the Canon rumours along with the R6 in the certification process. There's what looks to be a new Speedlite. I guess to go with these flagship mirrorless cameras that are coming out, so something to suit them specifically. So that also some interesting stuff coming still out of Canon today, or last night. Might be today, yeah. Well, today for me, that's when I seen it. Rightio, might as well go into COVID because that covers a broad spectrum of things. I'll try and get through most of it. Okay, Australia, Prime Minister's announced a $750 one-off payment to basically everyone on the welfare system, which should cover pretty much half of that, which will be pensioners and the elderly. So they're the guys that obviously need it, make sure they've got enough drugs, they can get to the shops and get their stuff, stay healthy, pay for any medicine, a bit like that. During this, they're the ones that are sort of most concerning and that they could get really affected by this. So they're trying to make sure that they've got everything they need to stay healthy and wealthy. Or healthy and wise, not healthy, wealthy in Australia. The poor old elderly, no, they get punched around. And then also some range of business assistant packages as well that they're going to be doing. Just on that welfare, for some reason I don't understand. I don't know if I read it right. If I read how it is, they're talking about basically anyone basically on the dole. So I understand for the elderly and the pensioners, I completely agree with that. That's no dramas at all. I don't see why someone on the dole gets $750 because of a virus. That absolutely no sense at all. No sense. It's a stimulus package. People on the dole are probably going to spend it on weed, grog, or fast foods. Pretty much that's all going overseas, and you're not going to see any tax advantages. No small business is going to get it. I think the other side of it, where they're putting stuff into small businesses, definitely what's required. But that's the only part of this what I didn't understand about the report and what they were saying about why people on the dole get a $750 cash set. I'm assuming that's because they think they'll just go out and blow it. I remember when, I think it was the Rudd government, give everyone a $900 thing. For me, I got it and it actually worked out really well for me at that time because I just moved to Perth. GFC had hit, it was all turned to shit. I was trying to get into the mines, and in those days, when you actually have to be qualified to work in the mines, you had to have HV license. I was told, which I worked out later down the track. No, you don't. But anyway, so mine at $900 went to paying for me to get my HV license. So now I've got a heavy vehicle license, which is great. except no one else in the mine has a HV license, because everyone you don't even need a license to drive a 250 tonne dump truck or a digger or anything anymore. So it's only mechanics that need it for some reason, but everyone else can do whatever they want. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so that was pretty much just given to everyone, and everyone just to go blow the money. I didn't blow it, I blew it on education, which went back into my career, and I've now been in the mines for 12 years. So that $900 was actually quite helpful to me, and I put it back into a small business to get me training to help me out. On the dole, it's a bit trickier, because at the moment, I think the hardest part is there's going to be more job cuts, because if no one's going out, going anywhere, flying anywhere, no one's flying into the country, there's going to be more issues, and that's where people are going to lose their jobs. I think all the money really needs to be funneled either into the elderly, and you can really sort of set that limit and say anyone under, say, 60 doesn't get it. Only people above 60, here's $1,000. Do that. That's probably a better way to do it. And then all these other things. So the business side, they're looking at apprenticeship. Anyone with apprentices, the government's going to come in and pay 50% of that apprentice's wage, just so you keep the apprentice, you don't get rid of them. So that's really good. They're also talking about increasing the $25,000 tax-free purchase level. Currently, if you're a small business, you go and buy a new fridge for your ice creams or something in the shop. If you sell ice creams in the shop, you've got fridges, and you've got to go pay for those brand new fridges you've been wanting. Well, instead of having to pay tax, that'll come off your tax at the end of the year. So you can go buy those 5 fridges now, which goes to a local company who makes the fridges or imports them and supports staff that are going to keep them working. That's great. That's good. They're going to increase that from 25,000 to 150,000. Now they're trying to do, at the moment it's still 25, they're trying to adjust that for the next couple of years to increase that all the way up to 150. At the moment it's still 25, but they want to go up. Now that's been in there, I think, for at least 5 or 6 years, at 25 grand. I know it might have been used to being 20,000, I think. I'm not sure, but it is up to 25 grand, so that's good. And increasing it will help those small businesses, because the cost of things have gone up since they started the program. So 25 grand is probably nothing nowadays to a small business, realistically. I know my wife's work got broken into the other week at the hairdressers, and they stole probably 5-10 grand's worth of product, and then everyone's scissors and all that sort of stuff. So easily 20-30 grand there just in stuff. To be able to come in and pay for that, and no, you're not going to, and that's going to not take that out of your tax that you have to pay at the end of the year. That's going to be a huge thing for small businesses, and it'll take a lot of stress off them and let them purchase the things they need without holding back. So that's good. Right, so that's the Australia side. Now Trump, for some reason, Trump and the US government has banned all travel from Europe to USA. So that's going to be a massive blow on the economy. Can you imagine how many, teespring.com, link below. How many people travel to and from the States to go skiing in winter? It's winter season. There'll be people coming and going from Europe constantly. Thousands of flights a week, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, jobs integrated into that airport system, luggage, food, fuel, the whole thing, travel agents, the whole works is a one big mesh. To block everyone from Europe to go to the States, that is a huge deal. That is going to definitely have flow-on effects to jobs. So, because obviously if you're in Europe and you're a US citizen, you can't get home. So now your travel insurance is going to be loaded up, because hopefully you can get travel insurance. Otherwise, somehow you're going to have to pay to go stay wherever you are for as long as it takes before they lift the lid to let you get back in. So that's a massive thing in regards to COVID. That's hundreds of millions of people moving, hundreds of millions a year. I would easily guess moving backwards and forwards across those countries for business, work, holidays and stuff like that, it's going to be a massive deal. I don't know how long they plan on doing it, if it's maybe just a 14-day period or something like that, I'm not sure, but it is a huge thing, and financially that will definitely hit the US a bit. So yeah, I don't know how that's playing out. It's strange to see them do that. It's already everywhere, so it's just a matter of staying healthy, being reasonable, don't go to large events. I wanted to go and film the Australian oil and gas show this week. It's on today, it was on yesterday, today and tomorrow. I'm not going purely because it's just a massive area full of people, and it's just not, just be sensible. You can go to next year's, you can see the products online, sometimes it's just not worth it. And they're the things to minimise. And having said that, also on the COVID side, basically every major event has been cancelled worldwide. So E3, world's biggest gaming expo, shut down, cancelled. They're talking about possibly an online sort of a show, but the main show shut down. All the computer photography shows, the biggest photography show in England, last year had 32,000 people turn up to go to it and pay to go to it. Done. They're looking at maybe pushing that back to October, or you can get a refund. So all these events have either been postponed to later in the year, sort of October, November, and that's going to be tricky coming into that Christmas period, because then you're going to have, I guess, the present sort of side, and then everything hasn't been built or ordered coming into present season. So this Christmas is going to be, again, something we'll talk about. But basically, if you've got an event in the next 3 to 6 months, there's a fair chance it's going to be either postponed or cancelled. So just keep an eye on what you've got planned and what's going on. So yeah, as I said, that is a huge part of that factor. So you've got all these shows shutting down, and then that's just basically just probably smart. You get one small tiny area with thousands of people in it. That's when you get that mass fast spreading. If you can slow the spread enough, basically people are breaking through. Out of I think it was 200,000 something or 300,000 affected worldwide, 60,000 people had recovered. So you can recover. It's not like if you get it, you're going to die. So don't freak out. It's a recoverable virus. The body can overcome it. It does have its facilities to overcome it. It's just, you've got to be healthy. You've got to relax, stay safe, and don't spread it around. So that's pretty good that they are doing that. But yeah, just be aware they are going to shuffle a few things. Rightio, away from COVID-19. It's huge. It's hard not to talk about it because it affects so much. Rightio, EU, again, we talked about them a while ago. They put the clamps on Apple and basically said no more Lightning. Everything has to be USB-C. In the next, I think they've got a couple of years to comply to that, so that happened. They're now going up against the right to repair for mobiles and laptops. So they're going into policy to basically say Apple will no longer be able to say, no, you can't go and get it fixed by somebody else. It will not be covered under warranty or whatever. Now they will have to provide genuine parts to these second-hand guys that fix screens or can fix your laptop, computer stores. That's fantastic, because it lets little small businesses, those single guys that can sit there, that know how to fix a computer and do it and love it and enjoy it and can sit there and fix it and do it for half the cost of Apple. So now they can get the proper parts, so they can do a really good job for you to get your thing back and save you a bit of money. So I think that's really good. I don't think these just massive companies like Apple, I understand it, I love Apple, they're a fantastic product, but they are definitely control freaks, and they need to just open it up and become a little bit more of a free source. Let everyone use it, because I think they can only benefit from that. So I think that's a good thing, and I think the EU will get this through. I can't see them not doing it after what happened with the Lightning cables and ports. I'm pretty sure that this will be a locked deal. Elon Musk comes out. We know Starlink. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be huge for Australia because their internet is crap. It's going to be huge. massive for the world, but definitely for countries like Australia that are so far away from everyone and are just basically got shit internet with crappy communications companies that really don't care about customers. So I think this will be awesome. He is saying that it will have the latencies, so that's the download upload speeds. So I guess the best way to explain it, when you push your button and move the guy, the speed it takes, it should be basically fast enough so you're not behind, I guess, if that makes sense. So your latency is good enough for competitive gaming. So that's huge, because the speeds they have in the States, these pro gamers, they've made a move. You can't even see they've moved, but when you go there to attack them, sometimes they're not there anymore, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the sort of deficit we have here. So having a global internet system that is that fast with that good a latency, and they're talking below 20 milliseconds. So really, really cool. Elon, go for it, mate. That is awesome. Fingers crossed he can get all this done. He has got a lot on his plate, and I don't know how he does it. He is a bloody genius. So that is really exciting, and for the gamers across the planet to be able to have access to that, that is really good. I mean, anyone from Africa or Australia, South America, if they're good on the game, they can become a pro gamer, and they've now got the same level as everyone else to compete on. So really cool. Sony Vaio, if you remember them, they used to be a big deal. Sony Vaio products, the laptops, and it was Sony Vaio this, and they were like the elite, the $3,000-$4,000 laptop, little tiny laptops, super high quality. Basically, it just all disappeared around 2014, I think, or it was around about there, 2013, 14. They all sort of disappeared. Sony split away from Vaio, and that was pretty much the end of them. They died off. Well, they're back. They've come back with a new laptop, the world's thinnest 6-core 10th gen Intel i7 processor laptop. Now, the boys over at, what's their new channel? Basically, Linus Tech Tips. It's their new channel where they do all the thing. I can't remember. It's only new. I'll get it. Anyway, they did a review on it and opened it up, got it. On the Surface, it's a 12-inch laptop. Usual Vaio outside, looks good, black, all in black. Heaps of ports on it. It's got like 3 or 4 USB-A's. It doesn't have a USB-C though. And I'll talk about a little bit more in the back end. It is a little bit low in quality. It's a $1,900 US laptop, so that's nearly 3,000 bucks Australian for this thing. But it doesn't have that old school Sony Vaio quality. The trackpad, totally useless. Tiny, really tiny, and can't press it to select. You've got to use the old button style, like on the old friggin', what are those other ones? Yeah, like the old, like 10-year-old laptops. You had the 2 buttons, just useless. Lots of ports, which was its good positive, but very plastically in build. You could see it flexing when he was hitting the keys. You could actually see the body of the laptop moving up and down. So $2,000, definitely not good enough. And the 6-core processor, yeah, but actually it didn't look that good. I think for that sort of money, $3,000, you could easily go buy a MacBook 13-inch and be way in front of what that is. So from Vaio, it was good to see Vaio back and coming back, and like it had all the makings of a thing, a 6-core 10th gen chip. That's an amazing bit of grunt in there, but I don't think it's enough to actually get it across the line. I think they've just basically looks like they've taken one of their old models and just whacked the new chip in and a couple of little fine tunes, and that's it, because it's a 1080p screen, not touch screen, not 4K. So yeah, for $3,000, definitely probably one to stay away from. But good to see him back in there. Hopefully that this is just a starting point and a way to get some cash flow into the system to start making some good gear again, because they did used to be really, really good. And that's about it. Another day. Oh, some stickers arrived. Teespring.com. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Tigers Media stickers. Put them anywhere. On your cup, on your phone. Check on your phone. shirt, hat, boat, car, whatever you like. They're available. There's more on there. Shirt's finally coming. That won't be far away, so we'll have the new shirt as well. Teespring.com. Cheers. That's about it. Thursday's done and dusted. Hope you had a good day. Work wasn't too bad. I will see you all again for Friday, the end of the week. Rightio. That way, this way, or up and down. Whatever happens, whatever takes your fancy. I'll see you soon. Peace.